Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stay for a while and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you can tell by the title of the video, we're going to do a little bit of get ready with me, life update. I feel like there's a couple of things I need to update you on, including our living situation and whatnot. So let's just jump right in. Alright my lovelies, let's get started. I am going to use some of the new products that I recently purchased. Like right now I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer that has the niacinamide for the perimeters of my face. So like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I cannot remember which one was it, the NYX? I think it was the NYX review. Geez, I don't remember, but we did sell our house in Texas and it was a little bit of a nightmare. Like I said in that video, it's a story for another time. But yeah, that was sold, geez, when was it? I want to say it was the end of October. Yeah, close to the end of October, it was sold. Boom, bam, no longer a problem. Yay. We've been looking at houses here in Utah and there was a couple that were contenders a week, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago now. My husband and I talked and we finally decided to make the decision and put an offer on a house. Well, the offer was accepted. Well, there was a little bit of negotiating. Okay, now I'm going to go into the NYX, bear with me, Blur Tint Foundation, 09 light medium. So yeah, finally we agreed on a price, and as of, I'm filming this on Thursday the 29th. So as of this past Monday, we are officially under contract. So yay. Yeah, you know, if all goes well, we will be Utah residents. So excited. So excited. I'll put a picture here of the house. It's very pretty. It's 2 acres, 4 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice house. It's beautiful. It's updated. They did a lot of renovations on the house. It was built in, I think, 1978. And it definitely does not look like a home that was built in 1978. Okay, that's what my complexion looks like. If I forget to tell you what I'm using, I always link everything down below. Sometimes I don't do it right away. Sometimes I'm trying to get the video up because I'm running late for the day or something. And then I'll go back and link everything. So in case you ever check and nothing's there, that's why. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm going into the sample of the NYX Bear With Me concealer. We haven't had our home to ourselves, and by ourselves I mean my husband, me, and the kiddos. I want to say since we moved into our other house in Texas. When I was pregnant with Harper, who was there? Well, even before I was pregnant, both of my younger sisters lived with us, and then my parents moved in, my sisters moved out, and then now we're living here with my in-laws in their house here in Utah. So basically my whole motherhood years so far, I haven't been alone in the house with kids. Like, even though it's so nice to have family around, it truly is, sometimes it can be hard because that's outside influence when anything's going on, whether, you know, it's breaking up a fight, somebody getting in trouble, somebody going on timeout. You have outside influence, and that could be tough because that can also confuse the kids. You know, they don't know who's in charge. So to say that it hasn't been difficult, I would be lying. It has been difficult to not be alone as a mother with my kids, and just focusing on being a mom and raising them. So it's going to be so nice to finally, after what, almost 5 years, be alone with the kids and just do my job as a mama without any outside influence. It's funny because even when like my parents would go visit Mexico and they'd be gone for like a week or two, I would notice a shift in the behavior of my kids. So I do know for a fact that it does affect them. It does. It truly does. And yeah, so I'm actually really excited. Okay, so now comes the main update I wanted to give you all. So this house was literally right at the end of our budget, like the most that we could afford to purchase. So I am going to be going on a no buy just until we figure out bills and whatnot, monthly expenses. I'm hoping it'll be 3 to 4 months. It could be 6. So let's just say 5 months to be safe. I already spoke to my husband and I told him the plans because I don't want him to stress about money. You know, we all stress about money. It's one of our main stressors for everyone, right? So yeah, that is the main reason why I wanted to give this a little update, because I will be going on a no buy. Now, we did say that I might be able to do 1 or 2 purchases of launches a month. It just depends on how big the launch is, really. But if I don't find it necessary, then I'm not going to. Just because I'm trying to be mindful of moving is stressful. Moving is stressful. Buying a house is stressful. That is a lot of money that you have to fork up, right from the beginning, you know, purchasing the house. And then if you don't have everything that you need, you know, as you move into the house, that's more expenses. We did have to get rid of quite a bit of stuff for our move here. Also, you know, there's so much snow. Yesterday, it feels like it snowed all gosh darn day, like literally. And luckily it wasn't super heavy the whole time. Like there was a couple of hours in the day where it was just dusting, but it literally snowed all day. And moving in these conditions, yeah, it just doesn't sound fun at all. My husband did end up purchasing one of those containers that you see like big diesel trucks carry, and it is here on my in-laws' property where all of our stuff from our home in Texas is. So we were able to fit a lot, but we still did get rid of quite a bit of stuff. You know, that's also more money that needs to be spent, not just on purchasing the house. It's a lot to move. It truly is. It's expensive to move. So yeah, I'll be going on a no buy. As of right now, we are hoping that closing day when we get the keys will be January 30th. So my no buy will probably come either in the middle of January or at the end of January. So if there are some new launches that I'm not purchasing, that is why. Gosh, what is like a recent item that was released? I cannot remember. The Charlotte Tilbury new highlighter is coming. But you know what? Either way, I was actually going to skip that because I'm not that interested in it. It's just a highlighter, and I'm not into blending highlighters anymore. And I feel like highlighters is one of the things that I buy the least of. So I'm definitely not excited for that launch. I will have my filming or a filming room back. It'll be like office / filming room, so that will be nice. We're going to keep the twins in the same room until we feel it's time for them to not be in the same room, and then we might put the girls together and then Wyatt on his own. But honestly, we'll see. I can make all these plans and, you know, that's not how the cookie will crumble. Yeah, so I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's crazy to think that I'm going to be, you know, living in a state where it snows and there's actually seasons versus, you know, Texas where it's hot 85% of the year, and then you'll get a little bit of cool weather and then sometimes like freezing weather, and then it's warm again. And then when I lived in California, like it wouldn't get super cold. The weather was pretty much nice throughout the year. It'll definitely be an adjustment. I already had to go out twice to go shovel and clear out my car. Like I said, it snowed all day yesterday, and sometimes you got to stay on top of it, or else if you need to leave, yeah, you're not leaving, you're not going anywhere because you can't get out. Okay, I'm going to jump into the RCMA. I forgot to tell you about a few products, but don't worry, I'm going to link everything down below. Okay, so now my question for you is, would you like to see an empty house tour? I enjoy vlogs. Not all of them. They're not all created equally. Even though, like, I didn't want my content on here on YouTube just be like makeup tutorials or makeup application, makeup reviews. I did want to add other stuff from my life in it. But you know, if that's something that my audience doesn't want to watch, then I totally understand. But I basically would love to know if you would all like a empty house tour. I don't know when the full, you know, house tour, once everything is in the house, is going to happen, just because I don't know how long it's going to take me to organize and have everything ready, you know. Might be like spring when this whole snow situation stops. It's snowing again, by the way. Let me know down below if you are interested in seeing an empty house tour. I would love to know. Okay, I already have eye primer on. I'm going to jump into this Masterminds by Makeup by Mario and Heather Austin's palette with Adept Cosmetics. There's some shimmers in here that I've been wanting to play with and I just haven't had the chance to. Okay, so I forgot what I was talking about, but I did want to say that our plan was not to stay in Utah. Like, that wasn't the plan. Some of you are probably thinking, like, how can you stay in such a small town? Those of you who don't know, we're like in the north part of Utah. It's a very, very small town. We are about 2.5 hours away from Salt Lake. That is the closest. Well, no, there's Provo and then there's Park City. There is some towns around here that are like considered bigger towns and like more known than like Vernal, Utah. I didn't know Vernal, Utah until I met my husband, you know? Like, the closest Sephora to me, I think, is in Salt Lake. Maybe Park City, I don't know, but it's 2 hours away. So those of you wondering why my Makeup by Mario review hasn't gone up, it's because I am 2 hours away from Sephora and I can't just go walk in. Thankfully, there's an Ulta here, but even then, it's such a small town that they don't get the huge big releases right away. So even though some stuff is available at some other like more popular Ultas, it's not available here, only online. That sucks a tiny bit, especially, you know, since I do YouTube and makeup and all that. And I mean, it is what it is. I am no longer in that mindset that I want my review needs to be the first one out there. It used to be, but not anymore. It is what it is, you know? And those of you who are here, you are here because you love my content. I somehow relate to you, and you could probably see yourself, you know, being my friend outside of YouTube. Like, if we were out in the real world, you could probably picture yourself being my friend. And that's why you are here. Not because I'm the first one to upload makeup reviews. I have always been a city girl. You know, I'm from California. I was born in Orange County and I lived in Santa Ana and a couple of other cities until the age of, how old was I when I moved back to Texas? 26, I think, maybe 25. And you know, Houston is also a big city, so I have lived the city life my whole life until now. Even though it's going to be a huge adjustment, I'm actually looking forward to it. I have always imagined to move somewhere country, you know, out, away from the city, away from all the outside influence and kind of live somewhere where small town mentality is more of a thing. We've had this discussion, my husband and I, and we've always wanted that to be the case. We just never imagined it to be Utah. I've asked him plenty of times, especially, you know, when we started having kids, like if he ever saw himself moving to Utah, and his answer would always be no. And now look at where we are. So I knew it was happening. I just didn't know when, and I didn't know that it would happen so suddenly. Okay, and I'm going to jump into the Heather Austin palette. I really wanted to use this one, but I don't know if it's going to be too bold. Let me put a tiny bit of it. Okay, so some of you are probably wondering, well, do you miss the city? Yes, I do miss certain parts of the city, not everything. Crazy thing. I feel like ever since the pandemic happened, crime all around has just gotten so bad. And I want to say about a week, maybe 2 weeks after we got here to Utah, my husband told me of a murder homicide that happened literally 2 streets down from our old house. Like, what? You'd mean to tell me that we lived there with our kids where there was a murder homicide, you know, 2 weeks after we left? It's crazy how bad things are getting, and I feel like in the city they're pretty bad, and I don't want my kids around that. I already, you know, have to stress about going to the store with my kids and watching my back and make sure that I'm watching them, you know, like a hawk, and making sure nobody is following us or nobody is trying to, you know, take one of my babies or maybe even harm me. Like, I already have to worry about making sure that I'm constantly looking at my surroundings, making sure I know what's going on and not get distracted, because life is rough right now. There's so many bad things going on, so many abductions, just so much crap. I feel like living in the city kind of brought that anxiety out more than living, you know, in a smaller town. Now, I'm not saying that that can't happen here. It totally can. It just, smaller towns is less people, you know, less strangers, less unknown people. So that has helped me a tiny bit with that anxiety. And I feel like we moved out of Houston right in the nick of time. You know, sometimes when you move into a neighborhood and it's super quiet and it's a nice neighborhood, and then all of a sudden 10 years later it has changed. I kind of felt like that's where our old neighborhood was heading towards. I saw it with my parents' old neighborhood, where the house that they had before they moved in with us, the same thing happened to that neighborhood. It was a nice, quiet neighborhood when they first got there in 2015. And then when they sold their house, which was, back in 2017, I think, or 16. And it was the same thing. Like, that neighborhood was not a good neighborhood like it used to be. And I get it, things change, you know, there's shifts and everything, but it just felt like we needed to get out of where we were, and this just made sense. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, let's go in with some blush. Why don't you comment down below and let me know where you live. Is it a small town? Is it like a big city? I would love to know where my audience is from. I know I asked in one of my older videos to let me know where my audience is from or where you're from. So it's been a good minute since I've asked that question, and I would love to know where you're currently living and if you love it, if you're a huge fan of the big city, or if you just rather not deal with big city problems and stay in a smaller town. Let me know down below. There's definitely a lot of things to miss from the city, and most of it is like the entertainment part of it, you know? The one thing I did notice, especially with the holidays here, is that the city of Vernal really does come together as a community in making sure that there is plenty of activities and things for the kids to do during the holidays. There's no mall here that I could take my kids to go meet Santa. We didn't get a picture this year because it just didn't work out to where when my husband was home and Santa was in, you know, one of the local areas or stores or wherever he was going to be, and just taking 3 kids on my own to go meet Santa did not sound appetizing at all. So we unfortunately didn't get a picture with Santa, but I got creative and I'll put a picture here and I'll show you the picture that I did get. But yeah, the community just here came together for the holidays and made sure there was plenty of things that parents can do with their kids, especially when they're off and especially when it's like a holiday or a special occasion. The same thing with Halloween. So many trunk or treats going around at the museum, I think at the school. Like, they just have so many activities for the mothers here and the children. They all just come together and make it happen. Okay, I'm going to jump into this e.l.f. Lash and Roll Mascara. I have only used it one other time other than day, and that first time it actually worked great. It did not smudge, it did not transfer, there was no flaking. I think this might be a new favorite drugstore mascara. Okay, well, I think that is pretty much it when it comes to updates and me just kind of chit-chatting with you. I love sitting down and getting my makeup done and feeling like I'm talking to you. It's so nice. And then I love it when you all comment and let me know, you know, if you have had similar thoughts or if you agree, or just kind of tell me a little bit about you. It's really nice. I truly do enjoy it. I'm super excited for this next chapter in my husband and I's life. It's going to be an exciting one. Don't forget to let me know down below if you would like for me to do an empty house tour. Yesterday we went to the house to go meet with the inspector. He did the inspection and everything came back well. Okay, let me finish off my mascara off camera, maybe put a lip on, and I'll be back. Okay, so I did go in to Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Up and Down Tan 604, and then I did go into the e.l.f. Halo Glow as my highlighter. I think it looks really pretty and I might be enjoying it more than the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. Now I'm going to jump into this Natasha Denona gloss from my dream collection. It always just looks perfect with like every look that I do. Okay, but here is the finished makeup look. Today is hair wash day, so that's why it's pinned back behind my ears. But this makeup came out so pretty. It's bold but a tiny bit subtle, right? That Heather Austin palette with a depth is so good, and I haven't picked it up in a good minute, so I'm glad I picked it up today. I am going to have to be creative with my uploads during my no buy. I do have some ideas, and I actually one of them I kind of tested out today. I wanted to create a series called Mix It Monday. Is it Mix It Monday? Something along those lines, where I'm basically going to pick out 2 palettes from my collection and create an eye look with both of them. You know, sometimes, like, even though you do, at least most of the time I try and want to stick to just one palette, sometimes it's really fun to dig into like 2 palettes to create your eye look. And I feel like this eye look is so pretty, and I used 2 palettes, so I think that's a series that is coming up during my no buy. Okay, but yeah, we are done with this little get ready with me video where I update you all on what's going on with my life and the big changes, more with my personal life than anything. I'm super excited. I would love it if you can all send your good vibes, your good juju, so that this closing can go as easy as possible. I know sometimes things happen and stuff is delayed, and I mean, you know, it is the nature of things, but just send your good juju, your good vibes our way. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, my lovelies. Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to try and make sure that I pre-film some videos before the actual big move, just so that I don't go any days. I might miss one or two. I don't know, but I don't want to miss too many, because when you do that, YouTube really does ding you. Like, holy crap, does it ding you. I think I took like 5 weeks off when I was pregnant with the twins. Like, I had no energy. I could not physically film, and it really just pretty much made my YouTube channel dead, because it was so hard to get back in the algorithm and get my content out there after that. So the plan is to pre-film as much as possible. Okay, well, again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you so much. Comments, your likes, everything. It truly just means the world to me. Okay, well, with that being said, I would love it if you gave this video a big ol' thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and it would definitely help me out in the algorithm of hopefully bringing some new and fresh eyes to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. All right, I will see you on my next video. Bye.